And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Trinity Baptist College for exciting NCCAA Division II men's basketball between the Eagles and the Bruins from Bob Jones University, making their way down from Greenville, South Carolina. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ray Bureau, and Dean Bureau, my son, back on the camera for us here this afternoon, and we are very happy to have Dean rejoin us for this fantastic basketball game you're about to watch. We've already seen one fantastic basketball game. Bob Jones defeated Trinity Baptist 60-59 on a 4-second layup put in by Katrina Tabora for the win. The Eagles got off the last shot, but it did not go, and Bob Jones won it by one. This ball game is underway with the Bruins winning the opening tip-off. Bob Jones has a record of 9-11 on the season, 3-5 in South Region play. We have our first whistle and an offensive foul called against Stephen Hughley. First foul of the ball game. Bob Jones has defeated Trinity Baptist, Southeastern Baptist College, and Johnson University of Florida. They have fallen once to Southeastern Baptist, twice to Toccoa Falls, and twice to Pensacola Christian. The last game was a 110-91 win over Warren Wilson University on February 7th. The Bruins are the number 14 offense in NCCAA Division II. Ian Kennedy with the basket. It's a three. Kennedy averages 5.5 points per game. He scored 3 against Bob Jones on January 27th. The Bruins won that game 81-76. The Eagles had trailed by 20 and had to fight back and almost pulled out the win, but Bob Jones held on. Tell you more about both teams in just a bit. 3-point effort by Henry Blair. No good. Rebound, Hayes Brush. Henry Blair, last year's South Region Player of the Year. And the Bob Jones Bruins, the defending South Region champions, and went deep in the national championship tournament. They are averaging 78.8 points per game while allowing 80.9. That's the 20th ranked defense in the NCCAA Division II. Bruins are shooting 47% from the field, 34% from three-point range, and 74% at the line. That's the number 3 percentage in D2. Meanwhile, the Eagles are 13-9 on the season and 5-4 in South Region play. Tell you more in a moment. Brush gives it up to Brunson. The three-pointer, no good. And we have ourselves a foul. The foul is called on TBC's Ian Kennedy, his first and team foul number 1. So the Bruins will inbound with a fresh 20-second shot clock. Eagles played a fantastic game against Toccoa Falls College on Thursday, but Toccoa won that ball game by 5, 68-63. Spinelli is rejected by Brunson. He was looking for the foul but didn't get the call. And now Bob Jones, a chance to get on the board. That's for 3. It would tie the score from Pouncey. It's off the rim and out of bounds. Tostatus Pouncey scored 16 points against Trinity on January 27th. Trinity Baptist averages 73.2 points per game, number 26 in D2. They allow 70.7. That's the number 4 defense in the NCCAA Division II. The Eagles are shooting 45%, 29% from three-point range, and 64% at the line. Brunson knocks that one out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Eagles. And Zach Chiotti gets ready to inbound. The Eagles are led by Coach John D. Jones in his 12th season out of Liberty University. He's assisted by Associate Head Coach Kareem Shepard, and assistants Andrew Bowman and Josh Harris is the team manager. The Bruins are led by Mr. Burton Uero. Pass inside is intercepted by Trevor Brunson. And Bob Jones, another opportunity to get on the board. Assistant coaches are Tony Miller, John Clay, and John Barron. John Clay, a former Bob Jones player. We saw him on this court many times throughout his time at Bob Jones University. 12 seconds to shoot. Brush makes his way inside the paint, dishes it off. 3 seconds to shoot. That's good if it goes. They got it off in time, but it hits off the rim. And a rebound by Stephen Hughley, hustling in to keep the ball in the Bruins' possession. And we have ourselves a whistle. Looks like they're going to reset the shot clock. The athletic director of Bob Jones University is Mr. Neil Ring, Dr. Neil Ring, that is. And the sports information director is Ms. Caitlin Unruh. Trinity Baptist in the South Region, 5-4, defeated Toccoa Falls College, or lost to Toccoa Falls College twice, and Bob Jones University once, and Pensacola Christian once. Their wins have come against Trinity College of Florida, 2 wins over the Tigers, and they have defeated Johnson, Florida, Pensacola Christian, and Southeastern Baptist 1 time each. The Eagles, after today, have 2 games left. Johnson University of Florida next Thursday, the 16th, and Southeastern Baptist College next Saturday, the 18th. For the Bruins, after today, they still have 2 on their schedule. They'll be home against the University of Maine, Fort Kent. That'll be on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then next Saturday, they'll finish the season at home against Johnson University of Florida, and that will be the Bruins' senior night. Back underway. Eagles got the only basket so far. Ian Kennedy, a 3-pointer, but Hughley changes that right as I say it. He's on the board. He scored 10 against TBC earlier, and he averages 14.1. I hope you saw that women's game this afternoon. Trinity Sneed put the Eagles ahead by 1. But then that 4-second shot we told you about from Tabor, that was the final score, 60-59. Hughley lost his footing. Spinelli jumps over Hughley and gets his hands on the ball, and that will be an alternating possession. It's going to be Eagles ball. Bob Jones won the opening tip-off, so Trinity Baptist has possession. Maisonnet, Chiatti, Kennedy, Alvarez, and Spinelli for the Eagles. Henry Blair, Trevor Brunson, Tostatus Pouncey, Hayes Brush, and Stephen Hughley for Bob Jones. No substitutions yet. Those are the 10 men who started the ball game. 13 to shoot. Spinelli tried to get Alvarez, but missed his target. And the unforced error gives the ball back to the Bruins. And Trinity Baptist fell behind by around 20 points in the second half when they met earlier in Greenville. Fought back. I believe they got to within 1, but then Bob Jones was able to finish it off for the 81-76 win. Ball hits off Maisonnet's foot, and then a collision. But the foul is going to be called on Jace Spinelli away from the ball. His first, team foul number 2. Ian Bureau on camera this afternoon. Noel Wakefield is our official scorekeeper. Bruins inbound. Brush, a bounce pass to Hughley. He stays outside the paint, avoids a 3-second count. And then a strip to the ball. However, Brunson regains possession, misses the jump shot, and Maisonnet is able to pull down the rebound. Not a lot of scoring yet, a whole lot of back and forth. Teams have missed shots. There's Chiatti off the rim, and Brush with the rebound. And they get very quickly up the court. Another layup missed by the Bruins. They've had a couple of opportunities, and no shot. The foul on the floor before Henry Blair fired it off. Ian Kennedy will be called for his second. It is team foul number 3. Michael West will take over for Ian Kennedy. Part of that reason because Kennedy already has 2 fouls. But he also has the 3 points for the Eagles. Brush thought about the 3, instead found Blair in the corner. Blair moves inside the paint, hits the short jumper. He scored 21 against the Eagles a couple of weeks ago, and that's his season average, 21.3 if you want to get a little more specific. Shout out to my good friend through the email, Mr. Johnny Gammett, the longtime voice of the Bob Jones University Bruins. Hope you're watching here, Johnny, and enjoy the game except for the final score. And we have ourselves a blocking foul called against Trevor Brunson, his first, and team foul number 2, and the Eagles will inbound. Of course, Johnny Gammett was also the longtime SID for the Bruins. He now works full-time in their administration. Caitlin Unruh took over last year, and she's done a phenomenal job. And she and I always have excellent communication with each other as these two schools meet for whatever sport they're playing. Maisonnet, turnaround jumper off the rim. Brunson with the rebound, very quickly up the court. Has options to both sides. He finds Kenny Garrett. And the ball's worked that to Brunson near midcourt. Henry Blair now with possession. Again, last year's South Region Player of the Year. Turnaround jumper misses everything. Maisonnet right there to pick off the rebound. Xavier Rose finds Spinelli. Makes his move past Hayes Brush and gets the basket. 4.7 is Jace Spinelli's season average. No points against Bob Jones earlier, but Spinelli will do a whole lot of things to help his team win. He'll rebound, he'll hit free throws, he will find open men, and he plays very hard every chance he gets. There's a three-point attempt that misses everything. Brush keeps it in play, and a foul. Michael West collided with Tostatus Pouncey, and that's number 1 on West and number 4 on the Eagles. And Pouncey will go to the line. 3.7 is his average, but again, 16 points against the Eagles earlier this season. And I watched that game, at least the second half of it, after I finished some other duties here on campus. Tostatus Pouncey came to life in that second half, and the first of 2 is good. Limited opportunities at the line for Pouncey, but with that first free throw made, he is now 10 for 12. He's well over 80% from the line. Jaquez Anderson in for Fausto Alvarez. Jaquez Anderson scored 10 against the Bruins up at Bob Jones. Pouncey's second free throw rims out. Spinelli with the rebound. And TBC leads, or actually trying to regain the lead. We're tied at 5. Rose hits Spinelli, but excellent defense by Garrett. Spinelli had to throw the ball outside towards West, but picked off by Blair. Blair guarded by Spinelli. And the big man works his way inside and gets the layup. Henry Blair, a senior from Ludowiki, Georgia, stands at 6'3", and he has nothing but rock-solid muscle, and he got past Jay Spinelli and put his team ahead by 2. Spinelli hits Rose, ball stripped away. Rose gets it back, misses the shot, rebounded by Brush. We've seen a lot of Hayes Brush when the Bruins have come to town as well, a senior from Greer, South Carolina. Pouncey inside, and the layup. And a timeout called by Coach Jones with 12:37 left in the first half. And the Bruins now leading 9-5. Back after this message from the NCCAA. Eagles will have possession after the layup from Tostatus Pouncey, gives his team a 4-point lead. All 5 Bruins back on the defensive side of the court. Our first look at Brian Sims, wearing number 21. He averages 11.1 points per game, scored 3 against the Eagles on January 27th. And a timeout for a shot clock reset. Eagles will get 20, now 30, and they're going to run this down somewhere in the mid-20s. Stopping at 26. Pouncey, Blair, Brush, and Garrick also on the court for the Bruins. Anderson, Rose, Chiatti, West, and Maisonnet for TBC. Shot clock to 14. Rose spins around Brush and gets the basket. Beautiful move by Xavier Rose, the Quitman, Georgia native, and the Eagles are within 2. That's Hayes Brush with possession. It was Hayes Brush who hit that buzzer-beating three-pointer against TBC in the South Region tournament last year. And then the Bruins went on to win it, and there's Brush with the finger roll in his first basket. He averages 9.2. Both the women and the men from Bob Jones won the South Region tournament here on this very court. Went deep into the NCCAA National Championship. Pensacola Christian women won it. Both Bob Jones teams went very deep into the tournament. 11-7, and the bounce pass is stolen by Chiatti. It was intended for Sims, but missed its mark. Maisonnet for 3, short, off the rim. Garrick right there for the rebound. 11-7, Bruins lead. Coming up on the 11-minute mark of the first half. Henry Blair guarded by Maisonnet. His pass is intercepted by Rose. David Rose is about 5'9", but his vertical leap is tremendous. Anderson's 3 is long, actually. Maisonnet with the rebound. And Chiatti moves his way inside the paint, doesn't have a shot, but finds West. And Michael West gets the roll off the rim and the basket. And a timeout called by Coach Burton Euro, 30-second timeout with the score Bruins 11, Eagles 9. It is Hall of Fame Saturday here at Trinity Baptist College. At halftime, we'll have a brief ceremony honoring our 4 2023 TBC Eagles Hall of Fame inductees. We had a full ceremony in the brand new education building here on campus this morning, and Coach Jones is going to take few minutes during halftime to recognize our 4 inductees. So stick around, Eagles fans, and you'll be able to see who is inducted. Of course, we put that article up on TBCEagles.com about a week and a half ago, featuring former men's soccer head coach Bill Brindley, who has the one and only national championship in TBC Eagles athletics history. That came in 2015. And I believe that was the 3rd season of men's soccer here at Trinity Baptist College. He's also won a national championship with Columbia International in the NCCAA Division I. That came this past season. Pounce inside to Sims, and he gets the reverse layup. His first basket, a 4-point lead for the Bruins. West to Chiatti. Not guarding closely enough for a 5-second count, and now the count is on, but West takes the pass, gives it back to Chiatti outside the arc. 10 seconds left, almost through the hands of Rose. 5 to shoot. Rose goes in and gets the layup. Xavier Rose, he gets his second of the afternoon. It's a 2-point margin. Bob Jones leads 13-11. Sims stopped the dribble but hit Brunson. Brunson outside to Sims. Back to Brunson outside the arc. Spin move, underhand, but a travel. Brunson got around one defender and tried to go underneath another, but dragged his foot. And now give the ball back to the Eagles with a chance to tie or take the lead, but Trevor Brunson is still on the floor. Remember, we had a ball game here earlier, and then these men playing for more than halfway through the first half. There's some moisture and attention being given to Trevor Brunson. So we'll pause right here. Hopefully he's all right. We'll be right back. Trevor Brunson not only got up, but ran off the court. That's a terrific sign. Hit his head on the floor, so he may have to get looked at a little more just to make sure everything is in order. Meanwhile, the Eagles have a chance to tie it or take the lead. We mentioned Coach Bill Brindley, one of our 4 inductees. Cazette Nicole Collins of women's basketball. She scored over 1,000 points in her only season here as a TBC Eagle. Yes, 1,000 points and 500 rebounds. Michael West pull-up jumper off the rim and rebounded by Hughley. Eagles baseball, Cody Ragland, a catcher, set some catching records during his time here at TBC. And former volleyball player Jennifer Kelnhofer, now Jennifer Gifford, also inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame this morning. And Ernest Johnson, who was officially inducted last year but could not come to the ceremony, he got recognized this morning at the full ceremony as well. So congratulations to all our new TBC Eagle Hall of Fame members. Hughley hits Sims, almost lost the ball. Pouncey back to Sims, that's for 3. It's in and out. I thought that was good. Maisonnet pulled down the rebound. Ostadas Pouncey very nearly gave his team a 5-point lead. Anderson outside to Chiatti. West guarded by Blair. Bounce pass to Rose. One-on-one, gets around Hughley, but misses the layup. The ball goes out of bounds. Looked like it had touched Hughley last, but official says one of the TBC Eagles players knocked it out of bounds. And so Bob Jones will get possession, 8:20 and counting in the first half. Henry Blair finds Hughley at the baseline, and Maisonnet reaches in and punches the ball out of bounds. 16 on the shot clock. And 2 substitutions for Bob Jones and 1 for TBC. Hayes Brush and Trevor Brunson in for Garrick and Pouncey. Meanwhile, Fausto Alvarez will take over for Marc Jobert Maisonnet. So 3 new men on the court. Brush in the paint. Sims, then Hughley. Good zone defense by the Eagles, keeping Brush from getting off the shot a moment ago, but Brush didn't care about that one bit, and he goes in and gets the reverse underhand layup. 4-point Bruins lead, 7:48 and counting. Whole lot of action still to come this afternoon. Eagles baseball and softball both rained out today. Alvarez takes the pass from West and goes uncontested to the hole. Alvarez averages 13 points per game. He scored 15 up at Bob Jones earlier. Blair for 3, swish. That's now 7 for Blair and a 5-point Bob Jones lead. Zach Chiatti back at midcourt. Work the ball to West over on the far side. Alvarez outside the paint. Shot clock in single digits. Chiatti to West. Pump fake from 3. Pulls inside and is blocked by Blair. 2 seconds, but a steal. Great defense by the Bruins. The only shot attempt TBC took was blocked. Blair inside, beats Alvarez, and the basket is good. That's 9 for Henry Blair. And a timeout with Bob Jones leading 20-13. 6:41 left to go in the half. Stay with us. The Bruins are shooting 50% so far, 9 for 18 from the field. The Eagles at 38%. We've had only 2 foul shots the entire game. Tostatus Pouncey hit 1 of his 2. Bruins have hit 1 3-pointer, so have the Eagles. And now TBC trails by 7. And another shot clock reset. And I believe I heard the officials say to put 22 up there on the shot clock. Chiatti will inbound. It was 13-11 just a moment ago, but Bob Jones has outscored TBC 8-2 since then. Now 8-4 as Chiatti gets a second chance and puts the ball in. He averages 10.6, scored 6 in the earlier matchup this season. Blair thought about the 3, but Rose made him change his shot, and then he ended up having to dribble. Hand it off to Brush, and Hayes Brush powers his way inside for the layup. The senior from Greer, South Carolina. He's 6'2", but he plays much bigger than that. West finds Rose. 15 to shoot. Chiatti couldn't get inside. Found West outside the arc. 7 seconds. Pass to Alvarez is out of his reach and out of bounds. And more tight defense by the Bruins forces a turnover. Tostatus Pouncey in. Brian Sims out. 22-17, Bruins lead. Check that, 22-15. What you see is correct. Rush in the paint. Blair to Brunson at the top of the arc. Brunson guarded by West, used Hughley as a screen very effectively. Brush, pump fake. Hughley loses control. Ball stolen away by Anderson. West almost lost control, but maintained possession. Chiatti's turnaround jumper. Yes, he had 4 bounces off the rim. 4 points now for Zach Chiatti. Chiatti, one of Coach Jones's dynamic ball handlers and shooters. Blair will go to the line for 2. The foul is called on Fausto Alvarez, his first, and team foul number 5. So Henry Blair, a couple of free throws. At the line, Blair is shooting an incredible 84%, so no surprise that the first one goes through without any trouble at all. He is now 75 for 89. Stephen Hughley comes out. Dylan Harris takes his place on the left side of the lane. That's one of the reasons Henry Blair averages 21 points per game, but he misses a second, and Fausto Alvarez pulls down the rebound. Alvarez is a sophomore from St. John's, Florida. He stands at 6'8". He's the biggest man height-wise out there on the court. He's also big in the shoulders as well. He and Henry Blair match up very well. And Rose has the ball knocked away by Brush. Eagles maintain possession, but they have only 7 seconds to work with. Give you some more numbers in the women's game when we get a moment. Bounce pass to Maisonnet. Jump shot, good. His first score, 8 points per game and 6 against Bob Jones earlier. Eagles are within 4 at 23-19. Pouncey trying to respond and blocked by Alvarez. Alvarez to West to Chiatti, but double team at the baseline. Rose able to hold on, runs the baseline, feeds Chiatti, and Chiatti with the short jumper. He now has 6, and it's a 2-point game. And Brush outside the paint, able to hold on as the ball nearly got away, misses the shot, West pulls it down, a chance for the Eagles to tie. West is stripped. Brush got the ball off before landing out of bounds, and Brunson goes coast to coast. That's his first basket. He scored 10 in the earlier matchup and averages 8.0. The lead is back up to 4 for the Bruins. Alvarez takes the pass, spins around, and draws the foul. The foul was called on Dylan Harris, his first. Team foul number 3, Fausto Alvarez at the line. He's been a terrific free throw shooter of late. And he will get 2 right here. And number 1 is a little strong and off the back of the rim. 53% overall on the season, but a much better second half. These are the first foul shots for the Eagles today. Number 2 rims out, and a rebound by Dylan Harris. Bruins looking to extend to 6 or 7. Blair in the paint, guarded by Alvarez, and they work it back out quickly to Brush. And Brush puts a great spin move on Maisonnet and will go to the line. Number 1 on Marc Jobert Maisonnet. Team foul number 6, so the Eagles are out of fouls to give. And Hayes Brush will shoot 2. On the season, Hayes Brush, 75%. That's not 3 for 4 either. That's 27 for 36. So he also has done a terrific job. And number 1 is no good. As a team, Bob Jones came in 73.5% at the line. And right now they are 2 for 5. Make that 3 for 6. As Brush, Pouncey, and Blair have each gone 1 for 2. BBC has taken just 2 free throws and missed both. 15 to shoot. Chiatti to Spinelli. Inside to Alvarez. Uncontested layup. Second for Alvarez. 4 total points, and it's a 3-point lead. Michelle Jones had 12 to lead Trinity Baptist in the women's game. Bethany Dalton had 12 to lead Bob Jones. Again, the Bruins won it by 1. Shot clock at 14. The ball goes up, and that wasn't really even a shot. The ball was just batted up in the air and nearly fell in for the Bruins. Chiatti misses the jumper after a beautiful pass from Rose. Had too much momentum on it, and a missed opportunity for the Eagles to pull to within 1. They caught a break at the other end, but did not convert. And now Bob Jones with a 3-point lead, looking to extend it a little bit as we get closer and closer to the halftime break. Alvarez blocks Pouncey, no foul called. Rose to Spinelli for 3 to tie it, no, off the rim. And out of bounds, touched by Trevor Brunson. So Trinity's ball. And a substitution for the Bruins. Colin Jacobs makes his way onto the court. Jacobs, a freshman from New Bern, North Carolina, 6'6". Michelle Jones hit 4 3-pointers in that women's game. Was stripped of the ball, but got it right back. Had a chance to score, but was trying to get it to Alvarez, and the Eagles come away empty. Brunson, again coast to coast. Missed opportunity for him as a finger roll did not go through. Ball's out of bounds, but it's Bruins ball. Bria Dickinson probably had the shot of the game late in the fourth quarter. She fired from 3. It looked like it was well off the mark, but it hit high off the glass and swished through. And that ended up not the official game-winning shot, but being a huge basket for the Bruins. Foul called against TBC. Fausto Alvarez with his second, team foul number 7, so the Bruins are in the bonus. But Jacobs will get 2 because he was shooting. Colin Jacobs, 7 for 16 from the line. And number 1 is no good. Jaquez Anderson will take over for Fausto Alvarez with 61 seconds left until the intermission. 3 Bruins back on the defensive side of the court. Pouncey, Brunson, and Blair. 1 more at the table. Second foul shot, no good. And the Eagles will work the ball past midcourt. Rose will direct traffic. The Bruins have played really good defense in the past several minutes. They made it very difficult for the Eagles to get off shots. 10 to shoot. 7 seconds. Spinelli guarded by Pouncey. Spin move, and he will draw the foul. Number 1 on Pouncey. Number 4 on the Bruins, and Jace Spinelli is at the line. His first attempts, just the 3rd and 4th attempts for the Eagles. And number 1 is a little too strong. Spinelli at the line on the season at 60% coming in. Eagles nothing for 3 as a team so far. And number 2 for Jace Spinelli. It is good. Jace Spinelli, a 6'1" guard, a sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Pulls the Eagles to within 2. If they can get a stop, they'll have a chance to tie. 20 seconds left. 15 on the shot clock. They do have to get off a shot. Blair will do so, but miss. And the ball is kept in play by Chiatti. A long pass up the court and a race for the ball, but the ball hit the sideline, or are they calling a foul? We'll see which one. It is a foul called against Tostatus Pouncey back at midcourt. It's only their 5th, so the Eagles will not get shots. Might actually be a big break for TBC because that ball was headed out of bounds, and that would have given the ball back to the Bruins. So with 7.1 seconds left, the Eagles will inbound about 3 feet shy of midcourt. Officials are talking things over. I think they're making sure the correct amount of time is put up on the clock, 7.1. Coach Jones takes advantage of the opportunity to give a little further instruction before the inbound pass. And now they're going to back it up to that little line right over by Coach Jones. Chiatti will inbound. They'll let it roll a little bit past the stripe, and Rose will pick it up. 6 seconds. Down to 4. Chiatti to Spinelli. 3-pointer is strong, and that will bring us to the halftime intermission with the score. Bob Jones University 26, Trinity Baptist College 24. Henry Blair with 10 points to lead the Bruins. The Eagles have spread their scoring around very well. Zach Chiatti is a leader with 6. We'll total everything else up during the intermission, and when we come back, we'll update you on the numbers and get ready for the second half. You're watching TBC Eagles men's basketball on the TBC Eagles Sports Network.
Today on this very special Saturday for TBC Athletics. Today is Hall of Fame Saturday, and it's our annual induction ceremony for our athletic. their sport while representing. Also great to see so many alumni in the house who came back for this event as well. So if you are an alumni, or wave at us if you're already standing, so we can kind of see you around the gym. Okay? Right over here. Thank you for joining us on this special day in celebrating. Hall of Fame class. And then we had one that could not be here last year that was inducted in last year's class. And he but he had COVID that day and could not come to the actual ceremony. So we will start with him representing men's basketball, Mr. Ernest Johnson. Is he here? He was here at the breakfast this morning. It was great to have him and his family here and honoring them. Representing the sport of volleyball, she played here from 2013 to 2014. She was a team MVP both years and was also NCCAA All-Region. Ms. Jen. Some flowers for you as well. Your mom is here with you. Okay. Let's give it up for Ms. Jenny Gifford once again. At 10 a.m. Breakfast with all the Hall of Fame inductees and their families. So, but we wanted to also publicly recognize them today as well at this game. So that's why we're doing this now. She was a women's basketball player here. She has the single season scoring record of 1,065 points in one season. Think about that. Usually it takes players in the sport of college basketball 2, 3, even 4 years to score 1,000 points. But Nicole Collins, she was an NCCAA All-American first team. She led the nation in scoring and rebounding, 1,000 points and 500 rebounds in one season. She was the All-South Region Player of the Year, NCCAA National First Team. In my view, she should have been National Player of the Year and All-American that year. And then went on to graduate, earned a degree from Trinity. In women's basketball, we're proud to induct in the Hall of Fame Nicole Collins. Little guy today, and we enjoyed spending time with them at the breakfast. Look to them as well. Thank you for the support. Founded by Coach John Copeland, and during that time, one of the first players he signed turned out to be one of our outstanding young men, players, represented our school, not just on the field, but off the field as well. He's a strong believer, Christian, Christ follower. He was in 2015 in 308 with 33 hits, 6 doubles, 7. He threw out 10 base runners as a catcher from behind the plate.
Well, unfortunately, the microphone has quit working, but Coach Jones is describing Cody Ragland of TBC Eagles Baseball Hall of Fame. He has the season record of throwing out 10 men from behind the plate. He scored the first ever run in Eagles baseball history. And now he's going to talk about Coach Bill Brindley of the men's soccer program. And again, unfortunately, the microphone has gone out, but we're relaying to you what Coach Jones is saying. Coach Bill Brindley was the men's soccer coach from 2013 through 2018, and he won the NCCAA Division II Men's Soccer Championship before he left to Columbia International University, the one and only national championship in the NCCAA for Trinity Baptist College. And he also, again, this past season won the Division I national championship in the NCCAA. He's also won some NAIA conference tournament championships as well. So Coach Bill Brindley, whom I am pleased to say is the one who brought me aboard to introduce me to Coach Jones in 2015. And thanks to Mr. Bill Brindley and Coach John D. Jones, we've been able to bring you TBC Eagles athletics since 2015. So congratulations once again to all four of our 2023 TBC Eagles Hall of Fame members, and Ernest Johnson, who was unable to come into the gymnasium but was at this morning's breakfast. He was officially inducted last year but could not come because of health reasons. But he was able to get his award this morning. And we're going to pause right now for the remainder of the halftime intermission, and we'll be back with the second half between the Eagles and the Bruins here on the TBC Eagles Sports Network.
See the Lord Jesus Christ in their current situations, and congratulations to each one. Thank you. We'll resume in 10 minutes.
Welcome back to Trinity Gymnasium on the campus of Trinity Baptist College on the west side of Jacksonville, and we're getting ready for the second half between the TBC Eagles and the Bob Jones University Bruins. 26-24, Bruins lead. They led by as much as 7, and the Eagles trimmed that margin down to 2 as we get ready for the second half. Henry Blair is the leading scorer on the court. He has 10 points. Had a little chance to have a little bit of a chat with the Bruins coaches. I said, if it's okay, you can sit down, Henry Blair, but they're not having any of that. Hayes Brush has 7. Tostatus Pouncey has 3. Trevor Brunson, Stephen Hughley, and Brian Sims each have 2, assuming no mistakes. Pouncey has 2 fouls. Brunson, Hughley, and Dylan Harris each have 1. For the Eagles, Zach Chiatti leads with 6. But the Eagles have spread the scoring around. Xavier Rose 4. Ian Kennedy hit a 3-pointer right at the beginning of the game. Maisonnet, West, and Alvarez each have 2, and Jace Spinelli has hit a free throw. Tell you a little bit more in a moment. Second half is now underway. Bruins with possession. That's Henry Blair right there, and an offensive foul will give the ball over to TBC. First foul for Blair, and team foul number 1 of the second half. The Eagles shot 44% in the first half, 1 for 6 from three-point land, 1 for 4 from the line, and they grabbed 13 rebounds. Bob Jones shot 42% in the first half, 1 for 7 from three-point range, and 3 for 8 at the line while pulling in 15 rebounds. A little more housekeeping duty as we are waiting to get back underway. So you're up to date in case you missed anything in the first half. Pull up a chair because this expects to be and promises to be a very exciting second half. Well, we had one fantastic matchup earlier today, the women's game, and now the gentlemen looking like they're going to bring us a lot more excitement. Chiatti pulls the ball past midcourt. Eagles now going from the right to the left, wearing those home whites. Bob Jones in the navy blues with the baby blue trim, and a steal of the pass. Trevor Brunson picks it off and staves off the Eagles' chance to tie or take the lead. Brush bounce pass to Blair. He's double-teamed, but gets it back to Brush. Pump fake, back to Blair for 3. There was too much on that one, and Chiatti pulls down the rebound. He hustles up the court. One-on-one against Brunson. Second chance, no. Missed opportunity for the Eagles. Pouncey pounces his way up court very quickly. I'm sure he's heard something like that before. And a spin move from Hughley, but this one comes out and a missed opportunity for the Bruins. So both teams had chances to score on their last trip up the court, but both teams came away empty. Nobody has scored yet in this second half, but we're only about a minute 15 in. Rose over near the side, finds West to Chiatti. Chiatti couldn't get around Brush. 7 to shoot. West, that's for 2, but it's no good. And Hughley pulls down the board. Jones played fantastic defense, especially near the final few minutes of that first half. They made it difficult for TBC, but the Eagles were able to trim that margin down to 2 right before halftime. Blair kept the ball in play. 9 to shoot. Outside to Brush. That's for 3. It's strong and misses everything. No reset of the shot clock. 2 seconds left. Pouncey for 3. Off the rim. Brush is fouled. That was before Brush was able to try to get off the second shot right as he came down with the rebound. So on the floor, but the foul is called against Zach Chiatti, his first, and team foul number 1. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Chiatti is out. Jace Spinelli is in. And there we have a bounce pass to Hughley, who wasted no time putting that ball in and expanding the lead to 4 at 28-24. Hello to Kareem Shepard. Unfortunately, he's had to miss the last few games with some health issues, and hopefully, Kareem, you'll end up enjoying the final score. That's Rose, back out to Chiatti. Maisonnet for 3, yes! Marc Jobert Maisonnet averages 8 points per game. He now has 5. and he pulls the Eagles to within 1. As a team, Eagles at 28.5% from three-point range coming into today's play. Hughley could not convert. Now TBC has a good opportunity to regain the lead. West thought about the three, but moved both feet as he tried to get underneath and around Hughley. And a turnover gives the ball back to the Bruins. For Maisonneuve, that three-pointer he just hit was his 9th of the season. 1-point margin thanks to that three-pointer. Eagles, though, had an opportunity, but Bruins now looking to extend. Rush inside the paint, might have gotten away with dragging that back foot, and he gets the basket. 3-point advantage for the Bruins. They took the lead late in the second half, and they've held on since then. They got that lead up to 7. Alvarez, though, pulls the Eagles back to within 1. He now has 6. 30-29. And Brush works his way up the right side of the lane. Back outside, this is Brunson. To the left side of the lane, guarded well by Spinelli. Brunson throwing some elbows, turnaround jumper, and Spinelli is the one called for the foul. That's foul number 2 on Spinelli, and will send Brunson to the line. His first free throws of the afternoon. Bob Jones was 3 for 8 in the first half. Brunson on the season over 86%, 44 for 51. That one bounces around and drops in. You know, when you're shooting over 86%, you're going to get a lot of those bounces. Ian Kennedy in for Spinelli. And Brunson hit his first. And number 2 is also good, putting the lead back up to 3. So he goes 2 for 2. He has 4 total points. 32-29 in favor of the Bruins. Eagles work the ball up court, around the perimeter. Rose gets by Hughley, finds Kennedy. This is for 3. It's good. The second of the game for Ian Kennedy. 6 total points for the sophomore from Jacksonville Beach. Ian Kennedy just hit his 32nd three-pointer of the season. We're tied at 32, 10 seconds to shoot. Brunson fade away, stripped by Alvarez. Eagles could take the lead. Rose, no dribble, and a layup. Layup or finger roll, whatever you call it. The Eagles now lead by 2. 6 points for Xavier Rose. First time this half the Eagles have had the lead. Brunson back in the paint, in response, misses. Alvarez with the rebound. One dribble from Rose, basket no good, but a foul. Hayes Brush called for his first, team foul number 2. Xavier Rose at the line. The Eagles as a team were 1 for 4 in the first half. Xavier Rose is at 69% this season. He has hit 29 of 42 attempts. This game will probably stay close the entire way, and that foul line could very well determine the winner. And number 1 from Rose is a little too strong. So Rose misses his first. Jaquez Anderson heads to the table, and Kenny Garrick is on the court now for the Bruins. Anderson will take over for Alvarez. And Xavier Rose ready for his second attempt. It is good. Seven points for Xavier Rose. 35-32, TBC leads. And we have a whistle. Foul called on Maisonneuve for a hold, and Maisonneuve pleading his case. Coach Uraw was trying to get a timeout, but instead a foul called against TBC. So not only does the foul happen, but Bob Jones gets to keep the timeout. 14:47 left. Trinity 35, Bob Jones 32. Neither team has had a double-digit lead. In fact, the biggest lead so far has been 7 by the Bruins. That came late in the first half. Right now, Trinity Baptist leads by 3, 35-32. Outscoring the Bruins 11-6 so far in the second half. Bruins will inbound after the foul. And a high pass, but a high man named Kenny Garrick lays that one in. Kenny Garrick went way up high. He's 6'4" and had a tremendous vertical leap, the freshman from Covington, Georgia. Bounce pass to Alvarez. Spin move and a basket. That's 8 for Fausto Alvarez. The lead back up to 3. Jones didn't waste any time getting the ball up the court. Henry Blair, guarded by Rose. Basket is good off the glass. That's an even dozen for Blair, the senior. 1-point game. TBC with possession near midcourt. Kennedy takes the pass. Kicks it out to West. West makes his move inside. Ball stripped away, but Rose is able to get it back. Misses the first chance at the layup. Then the ball thwarted out of bounds. It's Eagles ball, but yes, the ball did hit the rim, and the shot clock now being reset. For a moment, the shot clock said 1. But again, the ball touched the rim, so 20 seconds now. Kennedy with the inbound pass to West. That's Rose. He's guarded by Garrick. Anderson thought about the 3. Bounce pass to West, stripped away. Pouncey comes away with possession. Now Bob Jones could regain the lead. Pouncey outside the arc, gets around West, collides with Alvarez, and an offensive foul. Fausto Alvarez had both feet planted, and in fact, he was there for a good couple of seconds. So the correct call made. Alvarez took the brunt of the blow and gets a nice ovation from the fans, giving up the body to gain possession. Staves off the attempt at the Bruins to regain the lead. Hello to Mr. Dan Riley cheering on the Bruins and Mr. Manuel Matthew cheering on the TBC Eagles. Always glad to see who's watching us here on the live feed. Anderson outside to Kennedy. Eagles kick the ball to the left side. Rose to Alvarez just outside the paint. Bounces off of Hughley. Pass to Anderson. Three-pointer strong. And a rebound by Garrick. He was able to get up and over Rose. 1-point TBC lead. Hughley near the corner, guarded by Alvarez. This is Garrick. Works his way inside, hits the double team, and then finds Brush outside the arc. Garrick for 3, off the rim. Rebound Alvarez. That one looked very good coming out of Garrick's hands, but it touched the rim, did not drop through. Another stop by the Eagles defense. Rose uses Alvarez to perfection and then feeds the big man who lays it in. That was fabulous ball movement. Alvarez the beneficiary. Rose with the assist. Fausto now with 12, and the Eagles lead by 3. Still Alvarez set a screen, then got the basket, and an offensive foul. Rose planted the feet. Blair pushed him with the elbow, and that's number 2 on Henry Blair. Team foul number 4, and a substitution for the Bruins. 2 men coming onto the court. Number 21 is Brian Sims. Number 2 is Trevor Brunson. Pouncey and Brush will head off. 39-36, Eagles lead. They took the lead a few minutes ago. Bob Jones has gotten to within 1 with a couple of opportunities to go back out in front. Trinity has played good defense these last few minutes. Both teams have played good defense the whole time. 3-point margin for the Eagles. Rose tried to get to Alvarez, but the pass off the mark. Brunson keeps the ball in play, hits it off Anderson's leg. The Eagles on the bench are saying the ball hit the baseline after Brunson made contact. Official says no, and Bob Jones has possession. This is Brian Sims back near midcourt directing traffic. Sims makes his move, double team, didn't care, got the basket. 4 points for Brian Sims and a 1-point margin. Rose, Kennedy, West, Anderson, Alvarez for the Eagles. Brunson, Blair, Sims, Garrick, and Hughley for the Bruins. Kennedy to Anderson, waited a little too long but drew the foul. He'll get 3 shots. I believe the call's against Sims. Official hasn't given the word yet. It's 3 free throws for Jaquez Anderson. Number 1 on Brian Sims. Anderson at the line, and number 1 is Strong. Eagles are now 2 for 6 at the line. Jaquez Anderson, 78% on the season. Number 2 is good. That's the first point of the afternoon for Jaquez Anderson, but it could turn out to be a big one. Zach Chiotti for TBC, Colin Jacobs for BJU. Anderson 1 for 2. Here comes number 3. It is good. So Anderson hits 2 out of 3 and gives the Eagles back their 3-point lead. 11 minutes left. And we hit that mark right now. Brunson to Blair, and we're tied. That is a 3-pointer. 15 for Henry Blair. 41-41, under 11 minutes to go. Big 3-pointer from Henry Blair. That is his 53rd 3-pointer of the season. 53, that is correct. That's Anderson for 3, off the rim. Batted up in the air and grabbed by Garrett. Bruins now for the lead. Bounce pass to Collins and a foul. It's either Kennedy or Anderson. It will go against Jaquez Anderson. Both of them were in on the play. Actually, I believe both of them made contact with Colin Jacobs. So Jacobs will shoot 2. And the first one is off the rim. Jacobs missed both attempts in the first half, misses the first one here. He had only 1 attempt entering the season. And that one rims out as well. Anderson pulls down the rebound. The Bruins are 5 for 12 at the line. Both teams under 50%. Zach Chiotti over near the Eagles bench. Inside to Alvarez, to Anderson. A 360 on the rim and drops in. Jaquez Anderson with 4. The lead is 2. Under 10 minutes left. And Blair is stripped by Rose. He has options, gives it to Anderson, but the pass hit the floor and bounced high over Anderson's head and out of bounds. That ball had some kind of funky spin to it. Anderson couldn't corral it, and now Bob Jones a chance to tie or gain the lead with a three. Mark Jobert Maisonette in for Jaquez Anderson. 9:41 on the clock. Maisonette, Rose, Kennedy, Chiatti, and Alvarez. Blair, Hughley, Brunson, Sims, and Garrick. That's Brunson. The double team results in a missed shot. Brunson got the shot off. It looked like it was going to drop. Kennedy to Chiatti. Zone defense by the Bruins. Alvarez inside the arc. Xavier Rose, 10 seconds to shoot. Back near midcourt. Makes his move inside the paint. Hit the double team, knocks the ball away. Maisonette to Rose. It was a shot attempt that was short, but Rose was there to pick it up and lay it back in. He now has 9 and a 4-point lead for the Eagles, their biggest in quite some time. That's Blair, high off the glass, and an offensive foul. Alvarez does it again. Fausto Alvarez is not afraid to plant his feet and take the charge. That's the second time in the past few minutes that we've seen him do just that. And for Henry Blair, that is his third foul. If I have that correct, it is team foul number 6. I'll check with Noel Wakefield to make sure that we are correct. Oh, that not quite updated yet, so we're going to make sure as we get an opportunity. I don't want to tell you incorrectly. Either way, the Eagles have possession. Actually, that's number 4 on Henry Blair. And Kennedy, fade away 3. It's good. The low line drive, his third of the game. He has 9 points, and the Eagles have their biggest lead of the afternoon with 7 at 48-41. Ian Kennedy doing what he does best. Blair pulls up, goes over Alvarez, but misses. Maisonette pulls in the rebound. Chiatti hustles up court. 1-on-1 to the hole, and he is blocked by Garrick, who might have gotten a fingertip on that ball, keeping it out of the basket. 7:42 to go. This is Garrick, guarded by Rose, and had a little trouble kicking it outside, but he found Brunson. Ball knocked away. Maisonette, Kennedy, and Brunson all fighting for it. Brunson came up with it, and after a pass, a shot is missed, but a foul. Again, a couple of Eagles in on the play, and the foul's against Fausto Alvarez, and that'll be his third. That's Kieran Philpott, a TBC Eagle student body member, getting a big hand from the crowd. Meanwhile, Stephen Hughley is at the line. He will shoot 2. He has 4 points. Chance to pull his team a little closer with the clock stopped. He's at 68% on the season, 64 for 94. And number 1 is off the back of the rim. Bruins 5 for 13, if I'm counting everything correctly. Will Masbach takes over for Fausto Alvarez. Our first look at Masbach today. The second one is good. And I'm going to count the free throws for both teams during a timeout with 7:28 left and the Eagles leading by 6. Had a chance to check the free throws for both teams under 50%. Trinity Baptist 4 for 9. Bob Jones 6 for 14 at the line. That line could very well determine the winner of this basketball game. Eagles lead by 6, 48-42 as we resume play, under 7.5 to go. Kennedy has hit 3 3-pointers. That's Zach Chiotti working the ball to the top of the arc. Now Rose trying to make his move around Hughley. Bounces off Hughley, misses the shot, but gets the rebound. Chiotti powers his way inside and gets it not off the glass, but is swished. 8 points for Zach Chiotti and an 8-point lead for the Eagles. Maisonnet is able to knock the pass away. Masbach picks it up, and the Eagles could put the lead into double digits with a basket. Hayes Brush at the table, ready to check in for Bob Jones. Maisonnet back to Kennedy. Eagles playing catch around the perimeter. 5 to shoot right now. Kennedy, fadeaway 3, off the rim. Masbach rebound. Outside to Kennedy. Shot clock, of course, reset to 20. Now at 15. Chiotti, guarded by Pouncey, puts a move on and draws the foul. 2 shots for Zach Chiotti. Foul number 3 on Tostatus Pouncey. Zach Chiotti, a fantastic free throw shooter. First attempts of the afternoon. On the season, 75%, 38 for 51. 8 points, could be 10 if he hits them both, and number 1 is good. 9 points for Chiotti, 9-point lead for the Eagles. And Hayes Brush comes in for Kenny Garrick. Pouncey had gone over to the bench for a little instruction. Now he's back on the court. And number 2 from Chiotti off the back of the rim and rebounded by Hughley. 9-point TBC lead. We just passed the 6-minute mark. Stay where you are, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss the end of this one. That's Sims. Gets a couple of bounces, but no basket. Chiotti goes way up high for the rebound. Kennedy guarded by Brunson. Rose takes the pass wide open on the far side of the court. 5:36 and counting. Shot clock now at 15. Rose uses Masbach as a screen. Finds Chiotti. 3-pointer, no. Loose ball near midcourt. Brunson and Masbach tangle up. Possession arrow is with the Eagles, but they will have only 7 seconds to work with. So TBC will inbound on the far sideline. Seven-point lead. Don't get too laid back just yet. Ian Kennedy will inbound. Brunson will try to make it difficult. TBC fans pounding the bleachers, cheering on their team. Chiotti goes around Masbach with the screen. Kennedy wide open. Basket is good. That's his 4th three-pointer. 12 total points. Eagles lead 54-42. 12-point lead. Hughley trying to answer, and he does. The lead is 10 for the Eagles. A loose ball. Maisonnet will tangle up with Brunson, or rather Sims, and this time the Bruins have the arrow. I was trying to erase a correction on Hughley and get him his 6 points that he is very well deserved. And some more housekeeping going on. Bruins have the arrow, so they will inbound, trailing by 10 with 4:55 left to go. Henry Blair will inbound. Let's see if he goes up high or makes the bounce pass. Instead, he goes long. Brunson to Brush, wide open for three. Don't give him too many of those opportunities. He didn't convert that time, but Hayes Brush, you give him an open look like that, chances are he's going to make you pay for it. He did last year, hitting that buzzer-beating three to give Bob Jones the win over TBC in the South Region Tournament. I will never forget that shot, and I know he won't either. Bob Jones then went on to win the South Region title. Chiatti outside to Rose, 10 to shoot. Shot clock at 8, Rose converts. Eagles are using the shot clock to their advantage, and they've been red hot here in this second half. Turnaround jumper, no good. Maisonnet with the rebound. Traveling violation called against Chiatti, however, giving the Bruins back the ball. Trinity Baptist is shooting 52% in the second half to Bob Jones's 35%. Thank you, Noelle Wakefield, our official scorekeeper. I'm able to pull in what she's doing over there at the table. Noelle's done a fantastic job all season long. Blair, 4-3, good. And a timeout. Henry Blair now with 18. 3:57 left to play. TBC 56, Bob Jones 47. And just in case you didn't hear earlier, we'll go over the remaining schedule for both the opponents on the floor. The Bruins will be home for their final two games. Monday night at 7, home game against the University of Maine, Fort Kent. And then next Saturday, the 18th, the Bruins end the regular season in the South Region against Johnson University of Florida. That's senior night. That's a 4 p.m. tip-off in Greenville. Trinity Baptist has 2 games remaining on its schedule. Johnson University of Florida will be here next Thursday, a women's-men's doubleheader. The women tip-off at 5 and the men at 7. I might have said that incorrectly earlier, but it's 5 and 7. And then on Saturday the 18th, it's against Southeastern Baptist College, and that will end the regular season for the TBC Eagles. The South Region Tournament is at Johnson in Kissimmee, and that is scheduled to start on February 23rd. Any one of the 6 participating teams could win that tournament. That is how evenly stacked this South Region is. Trinity College of Florida will not participate. That's what their coach told me when they were here last week. 10 to shoot. Rose guarded by Brush. Backs it up near midcourt. 5 seconds. Rose to Kennedy. Pump fake. Got it off in time and converts. Ian Kennedy, 5 3-pointers, and they have come in clutch moments to start the scoring, and then 4 of them in this second half, helping the Eagles build a 12-point lead, but it looks like he's going to be charged for the foul. If that's Kennedy, that's number 3, and we'll see which one the official says. It is Ian Kennedy with his 3rd. That is team foul number 6. So once the ball's inbounded, both teams are now in the bonus. Jaquez Anderson in for Maisonnet. Bounce pass to Brush. Both teams now in the bonus. Blair draws the foul and will shoot 2. If I have it right, that's number 4 on Alvarez. Henry Blair also has 4. Neither one wants to come out of this game for any reason whatsoever. Blair is 1 for 2. He came in at around 86% on the season. And number 1 is good. He has 19. If he hits a second, he'll have 20. More importantly, he'll cut the deficit down a little bit more to 10. Kennedy, Alvarez, Chiatti, Anderson, and Rose for the Eagles. Free throw number 2, rims out. Alvarez a rebound, and Brush knocks it out of bounds. Along with Brush, it's Pouncey, Blair, Brunson, and Hughley for the Bruins. 3 minutes left. The Eagles lead by 11. Hello to G-Tom. Thanks for letting us know you're watching here on the live feed. And we have ourselves a whistle. Looks like Stephen Hughley. It's a 1-1 for the Eagles. That's number 2 on Hughley, putting Zach Chiotti at the line. 1 for 2 so far today. The 1-1 is good. He will get another. That's his 10th point of the afternoon. And the back end of the 1-1 is no good, but Anderson gets the rebound. Loose ball now, picked up by Brush, stripped by Anderson, and Rose will allow his teammates to get back on the offensive side of the court. 60-48. Chiotti guarded by Pouncey. Eagles work the perimeter, then get it inside the arc to Rose. 10 seconds left. They've been very good working down that shot clock and getting the basket. Rose does it again. No, that one would not go. Brush to Hughley all the way up the court. Hughley in the paint, gets around Anderson and draws the foul. The ball did not drop in, but Stephen Hughley will shoot 2. He is 1 for 2. And now a chance to cut the deficit down to 10. He'll have to hit them both to do so. Or get a rebound and a basket, of course. Bruins right now are 7 for 16 at the line. Eagles are 6 for 13. That one does not go. Maisonnet in for Anderson. 2:11 left. Bob Jones will have to rally. Miss both. And Kennedy pulls down the rebound. Bruins are 7 for 18 at the line. Kennedy inside the paint, lost the ball, but Maisonnet got it back, misses the jumper. Out of bounds, last touch by Brunson. TBC will get the ball right back after this timeout. 1:58 left, and the Eagles lead by 12. We'll be back. TBC's ball with 17 on the shot clock and 1:58 on the game clock. 12-point lead. Chiotti will inbound. Long pass to Ian Kennedy, and his pass unable to be controlled by Rose. Brunson collides with Rose, and that is Xavier Rose's first foul. Bob Jones is in the 1-1, and Trevor Brunson is at the line. He is 2 for 2. 86% himself this season. Number 1 is good. That's 5 points for Trevor Brunson. There's a new Bruin over at the table. Looks like Brian Sims. Number 2 for Brunson is good. So he hits 2. It's a 10-point lead for the Eagles. And here comes Sims taking over for Brunson. So Sims will join Hughley, Blair, Pouncey, and Brush. For the Eagles, it's Kennedy, Maisonnet. Tell you more after the shot from Blair misses. Alvarez, Rose, and Chiotti. 1:37 left. 10-point lead. The Eagles will probably try to work down the clock, but an offensive foul away from the ball called against Fausto Alvarez. And if I have it right, that is number 5. And Alvarez will take 12 points over to the bench. And yes, that does appear to be number 5. He's staying on the court. Had him at 5. We'll see what the official score says. Yes, that is number 5. Of course, Alvarez didn't want to come out, but he must now, taking 12 points with him. Jaquez Anderson in for the final minute 33. And a ball stripped by Rose, but into the hands of Brush. To Sims, to Pouncey. Bounce pass back inside to Hughley. Spin move on Maisonnet, does not go. Maisonnet the rebound. Bob Jones has had opportunities. They've missed some short jumpers. And a timeout called by Coach Jones with 1:11 left. If I have it right, the Eagles have 2 fulls and 2 30s remaining, and the Bruins have all their fulls and a 30. There have been very few timeouts. Now, of course, I could have missed something. Just in case, though, we have 1:11 left, 60-50, back in a minute. Trinity Baptist 60, Bob Jones 50, 1:11 left to play. Very exciting basketball all afternoon here inside Trinity Gymnasium. South Region competition. Trinity Baptist came in the number 2 seed behind Toccoa Falls in the power ratings, but Toccoa Falls won 2 nights ago. The new power rating will probably come out Monday or Tuesday. Bob Jones, if I remember correctly, was number 3 in that power rating in the South Region. So they're playing for seedings, but they're also playing because they want to win this basketball game. Here's Chiatti up the right side of the court. Slows it down. The Eagles are going to try to work down the clock. 1 minute to go. Chiatti guarded by Blair. Bounce pass to Kennedy back near midcourt. 15 to shoot. Rose just barely stayed in the front court. Missed the basket. Second chance, no. Hughley with the rebound. Bruins have to hurry. They need points and stops. They get the points right there thanks to Hughley and a timeout. Hughley followed the shot, got the rebound and the basket. It's an 8-point game right now at 38.8 seconds left. John Clay, I knew I'd seen him somewhere. I said Bob Jones earlier, Pensacola Christian, but we saw John Clay on this court a whole lot during the past several years. He's now working at Bob Jones on his master's degree. So, John, sorry about your alma mater, but it's good to see that you're able to stay involved in the game while continuing your higher education. A dynamic player in his own right, Mr. John Clay for the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Thank you to Mr. G. Tom for the correction. 40 seconds left. The shot clock at 30. The game clock was reset just a moment ago while we were talking about Mr. Clay. The Eagles have committed 10 fouls, so Bob Jones is in the double bonus the rest of the way. Bob Jones has committed 8, so TBC is in the 1-1. 8 points is the difference. Both teams still over getting instruction from their coaches. Thank you, everybody, for watching us here on TBC Eagles. I'm Ray Bureau. Little bit of basketball left for both of these teams. 2 games each, and then the South Region Tournament. Of course, baseball and softball season underway. TBC Eagles softball won their season opening doubleheader against Payne College. fell to Thomas and fell to Kentucky Christian last night. TBC Eagles baseball swept Thomas University this past Tuesday, lost 2 to Ave Maria last night, but pitching on both teams looking very good in the early going. Alvarez takes the inbound pass to Rose, and he finds Maisonnet wide open in the front court. He is fouled as he was trying to get the ball to Kennedy for an easy layup. Maisonnet will go to the line for a 1-and-1. That foul was called against Henry Blair, and that is number 5 on Blair. He brings 19 points to the bench, and it appears he will finish as the game-high scorer. Meanwhile, Maisonnet at the line, 1-and-1. Front end is good. That's the first free throw of the afternoon for Marc Jobert Maisonnet. On the season, 58%. Ian Kennedy heads off and gets a rousing ovation. We're going to call Ian Kennedy today's player of the game. 5 3-pointers, 4 of them in the second half to help TBC build its lead. Ian Kennedy is today's player of the game. Offensive foul will nullify the basket from Brian Sims. That is his second. It's team foul number 10. Offensive foul, so no shots for the Eagles. 27.4 seconds left. They do not have to shoot. They do have to keep Bob Jones from taking the ball away. It is a 9-point lead. Kennedy back in for Maisonnet. Fausto Alvarez coming over to give Xavier Rose a little bit of instruction, and Gavin Korth-Loder is on the court. So Alvarez relaying some instructions from the bench. Great to see that he is still involved in the game. He is done for the afternoon. And a whistle. Foul away from the ball called against Bob Jones' Stephen Hughley. That's his third. It's team foul number 10, so double bonus, and Gavin Korth-Loder will go to the line. So Korth-Loder a chance to get on the board. He is 12 for 15 on the varsity roster, 80% coming into today's play. He, like all the other JV Eagles, dynamic in their JV games. Korth-Loder hits his first. And the JV Eagles will participate in the Bible College National Invitational Tournament beginning next Thursday. That's up at Appalachian Bible College in Mount Hope, West Virginia. Gavin Korth-Loder goes 2 for 2. Eagles struggled throughout most of the game at the line, but they have done a terrific job in the last few minutes when they really needed to most. They're 9 for 17. Rose to Spinelli, back to Rose. Tried to do the alley-oop, but the pass was a little off target. Final seconds winding down. And that's going to do it as the TBC Eagles win this one 63-52. Our player of the game for TBC, Ian Kennedy, finishes with 15 points. Jaquez Anderson, 4. Marc Jobert Maisonnet, 5. Xavier Rose, 11. Jace Spinelli, 1. Zach Chiotti, 10. Gavin Korth-Loder, 2. And Fausto Alvarez, 12. For the Bruins, Tostanis Pouncey ended with 3. Trevor Brunson, 6. Stephen Hughley, 8. Haysbrush, 9. Brian Sims, 4. Henry Blair, 19, the leading scorer on the court. And Kenny Garrick, 2. 63-52. The Eagles are now 14-9 on the regular season overall, 6-4 in South Region play. The Bruins drop to 9-12 and 3-6. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the TBC Eagles Sports Network. For Dean Bureau, our cameraman, head coach John D. Jones, and all of us here at TBC, I'm Ray Bureau saying good night and God bless you from Trinity Baptist.